It is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. It's good to be back together again. I feel like it's been forever. I hadn't been in my house in 16 days. It's just, life is good.
It's always good to see your beautiful face in the morning. I'll say that. And I do know what it feels like to come back after a long road trip, especially when you're working, get to be in your bed with your beautiful bride. I do want to say we look great in our NL Central caps. Look at us representing. No coastal bias here.
No. Smack dab in the heart of America right here.
You and I are both Midwest guys.
Yes, well, I'm definitely a Midwest guy, having grown up there. You played there, so you're an adoptive Midwest guy.
Although, why is Ohio East Coast time zone?
I don't know. I mean, we're definitely not East Coast. Definitely not East Coast. We are right there in the middle-ish. We're middle-ish. How's that? Okay, enough. WBC gets cranking real soon, and so we're going to start off with a tip of the cap. I love it when these WBC teams like Japan, they go back to Japan. The place goes nuts. Obviously, you got the Shohei factor. We also saw it in the Dominican Republic where guys like Fernando Tatis and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Juan Soto, they're all right there. And this is just for BP. Look at Vlad. They were chanting his name. He goes over, slaps five with all the people there. Like, that seems like an awesome atmosphere.
This tournament means a lot, man. And obviously when you're in the DR or, pretty much anywhere like Japan, even the US, baseball is the sport. It means a lot to people. And when you get to represent the country and you feel that national pride, it's something else, man.
All right, and we're going to actually start off with the red, white, and blue, which on Tuesday will play an exhibition game against the San Francisco Giants. Eventually, they're going to work their way down to their site and get it going this Friday against Brazil. It was really cool to see the guys throw on the red, white, and blue together for the first time and work out. There's manager Mark DeRosa leading his guys, really good pitching staff. Obviously, the lineup is absolutely incredible. We'll break it all down momentarily. But first, here is Bryce Harper on what it all means during a visit on Pat McAfee's show.
No matter where you came from, who you played for, what you got, we don't care, because every single day we come out here, it's for, the greater good of America, what we're doing for the people, who we're representing. And, like I said, I'm proud to be American. I'm so happy to be in this clubhouse with all these guys. And there's no greater feeling than going out there, listening to your national anthem, blare over the speakers, knowing what you represent.
All right, so Plouffe, after the hockey team upended Canada and took home gold in the Milan Olympics, do you think there's even more added pressure for the good guys to get it done in the WBC?
Well, let me correct you first. It's the hockey teams, plural, that took the gold out there.
You are correct.
That's right.
You are correct.
I don't think it has a lot to do with that. I think there's a little bit of motivation there. Just seeing them celebrate, seeing the way that the country kind of rallied around those two teams is special. But, I think the reason there's pressure this year is it's by far the best roster we've put together. Like, the guys are bought in on the tournament. Not that there hasn't been good teams before. Obviously, there's always been a lot of premier players, but I feel like this year is where everybody wanted to be on it. I know a bunch of guys, very good ball players. They were like, I was waiting on a phone call, never got it. There's guys that got left out this year, and I feel like that hasn't happened before. Too many good players wanted to play on this team. So just because of the way the roster is constructed, and I know some of the pitching, we're hearing about Scoobs, and he's only going to throw one game. So that kind of brings that expectation down just a little bit, but there's so much talent here. I think that's where the pressure lies. If we want to say baseball's our national pastime, if we have the best league in the world is in the United States, you just want to defend that. You want to have those bragging rights. That's essentially what this whole thing is for. Mm-hmm. It's bragging rights.
Yeah, because as talented as these top-heavy rosters are, and really there's probably three teams that can win it all. I think we'd be shocked if it wasn't the U.S., Japan, or the Dominican.
I think Mexico is just an absolute dark horse in this.
Could be. I would agree with you there. But if it's anything outside of the top 3 and maybe Mexico, it's going to be the most shocking thing ever. We know that there's not a perfect time to play this tournament because even the best pitchers are going to be limited, right? We have limitations. Not everybody is involved in it because whatever, they're coming off a slight injury or they can't get insurance, or there's all sorts of reasons why some of these countries aren't in tip-top shape because of this thing. But once the ball starts flying, once that first pitch is thrown, I'm locked in, man. I mean, I am excited about it. We will forever talk about that Ohtani Trout at bat to end the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Like the stars aligned. We hope we get another moment like that. Remember the one in 2017 where Adam Jones stole Manny Machado's home run? I mean, that was freaking Baltimore teammates where that had happened. So it gives us some indelible moments. It does give us as baseball fans the one chance to have some national pride, no matter where you're from, because we don't have it in the Olympics to this scale yet. So I think there is a ton of pressure on the USA.
It's pressure, but it's also just so much fun. And look, I never played on the WBC team, but I did play on 2 national teams, 2 USA baseball teams. And you're going to see each of these countries, they're going to play baseball differently than they will in any game during the Major League Baseball season, including the World Series. Like the emotion, you're able to let so much more emotion out in a tournament like this than you are just because in the big leagues it's still like, it's professional and you have to do certain things, and that's out the window in these international tournaments. I mean, you're going to see guys jumping out of the dugout on every play. When are you ever going to see like Javi Baez no look tagging in a regular season baseball game? You're just not going to see that. It's stuff like that happens in these tournaments. So yeah, I'm juiced up, man. I think the U.S.'s first game is on Friday.
It is.
So we're close, Chris.
We are. Well, you won't be seeing the Javi Baez no look tag because of the weed.
Yeah, what's up with that? Come on, guys.
From a couple of years ago.
It's insane. What the heck?
We've had some weird shit go down in anticipation of this World Baseball Classic. Anyway, they came out with a list of the power rankings before the tournament. Your defending champion, Japan, is 1. Then it's the United States. Then it's the Dominican. Then it's Venezuela. And 5 is Mexico. Are you good with those going into this tournament?
I think that's right. I mean, you can't say the U.S. should be over Japan. Maybe if you looked at the rosters and because Ohtani's not pitching, like maybe there's something there. But if they're the defending champs, give them that seat. So yeah, I think those are good rankings right there. I would go the same order right there. Venezuela and Mexico are closer than I think a lot of people will give them credit for. But I still also would slot Venezuela over Mexico.
The Dominican lineup, the more you look at it, you're like, holy smokes.
Yes.
I mean, just start with the outfield of Soto, Julio, and Tatis. Like, I don't know if you can handpick a better one. It's pretty damn special. The infield of Vlad, Ketel Marte, Perdomo, Caminero, Machado. That's,
yes.
God almighty, is that good? You kidding me? Man, oh man. All right, so in the comments, leave us how important this tournament is to you if the United States does not win it for the first time since, 2017? Is that when we last won it?
Yep.
And if we don't get it done, how disappointed are you going to be? Just kind of let us know where you are emotionally going into this. How locked in are you? Because I know I am. I'll start watching when these games pop up. I love watching the games from Japan if I can figure out the timing on all those. It's really cool. So all good stuff. All lots of good stuff. I love it. All right, today's episode, it is sponsored by Amazon. When life throws you a curveball, Amazon's everyday low prices on essentials helps you save the day. Amazon has everything you need whenever you need it. From planned purchases to those unexpected moments, they've got everything in one place, saving you time and money so you can focus on what matters most. I just told you I got back from a 16-day roadie. Sometimes you're going to forget a thing here or there. I told you about these gummies that I take for my heart. I realized I was going to be a couple short, so I ordered them immediately on my phone, grabbed my phone, got the restock order, changed the address, had it sent to where I was staying. Boom. I was heart happy and healthy, courtesy of my friends over at Amazon. They got everything you need. Tech to clothing to daily needs, anything else you need to prepare for the start of the baseball season. Amazon has everything you need all in one convenient place. It can deliver right to you, as I just proved, anytime, anywhere. So whether it's routine shopping or handling life's curveballs, all you got to do, folks, is shop Amazon. Save on essentials and save each and every day. All right. Framber Valdez had his Detroit Tigers debut on Monday. Pretty good effort. He went 3 innings against the Atlanta Braves, and it sounded like this.
2-2, and fouled off at the plate into the mitt. That is strike 3.
Fastball right through the heart of the plate at 95 from Framber Valdez. Freezes Brett Wisely. The 1-2 swing and a miss. It feels like Framber Valdez is already in mid-season form.
Ain't that the truth? By the way, can we ditch I know everybody tries different unis in the spring training. Get rid of those. Not a fan.
You don't like the orange?
No, they're horrible. They're not. Yeah, no,
okay.
Not in.
I'm not a huge fan of them either, but it is spring training.
I get it. It's spring training. And it's time to try out.
They have a orange alternate, though. That's not it. Or is that it?
I mean, they haven't had one in the past, so Tigers.
That is, you know what? That's not a spring training. That is their alternate.
Don't wear those.
I just don't like the hat with it. I actually don't mind the orange jersey. I don't like also the orange hat.
So what would you would go with the dark hat?
They have like one of the most iconic hats in all the baseball.
They do.
So I would stick with that.
Okay. That's not the question that we were going to ask. But he only signed that 3-year deal in Detroit, and he can opt out. I believe it's after year 2. Once Valdez gets going this year, are there going to be teams regretting that they didn't push harder to sign this guy?
I think so. We talked about it all offseason. I truly do think last year in Houston and like the cross up, and there was the just the rumblings of him being a bad teammate. I think that really did shy teams away. But what I said all throughout the offseason was, if I'm a manager in the big leagues, I'm calling the owner and the GM saying, I want this guy. I can handle this guy. We got it. Like, that's when you have a guy that can perform like this, right? Who is as consistent can be, giving you 30 plus starts a year. Like, you want him on the team, and not just like 30 so starts. I mean, this guy's a certified ace. He is, Chris. It's what he is. I think a lot of teams are going to regret not taking a chance on him. And yeah, it's a 2-year with the player option, then a mutual option after that. And I've said it many times on this show. I know he's age 32 this year, and maybe people shied away from that, but he's not a max effort guy, which I love. And what he does best is keep the ball on the ground. So I think he's going to be able to continue to that trait isn't going anywhere. It's not like he's solely reliant on velocity. And again, like the mechanics are so clean and non-max effort that I think he's going to age very, very well in this game, where, yes, I do think a lot of teams are going to be kicking themselves. I think the Orioles are going to be one of them. Why didn't we go after this guy?
I think it's 2 teams. I think it's the Orioles and I think it's the Giants. I think they're both going to be pissed at themselves. Now, I will give the Orioles credit. Like, they did change up their starting rotation, right? They made some trades. They made some moves. This one, I think it would have changed the entire temperament of the offseason. And I know that they added Pete Alonso. I know they added Ryan Helsley to the back end of the bullpen. So they have certainly made some moves to help themselves. They traded for Shane Baz. Great. This is all good stuff. But if we're talking about a team that was arguably the most disappointing in all of baseball a season ago, if you are trying to get back in this thing, when we thought that they were on their way to crescendoing, right, a couple of years ago, 100-win team, all growing up together, this would have been, for years I've been begging them to go dip into the free agent pool, and this one was staring you in the face. Like, he felt like the last piece of this puzzle to make them not only like legitimate return to playoff form, but fight it out in the AL East, which possibly, if things go really right for them, still could happen, and certainly represent the American League in the World Series. This is one of those moves. I just don't get it from their standpoint. The Giants are the other one, man. I would love to know why Buster Posey didn't push harder there.
I think it's the clubhouse culture thing. I mean, he's huge on that, and I think people shied away, man. Whether that's right or wrong, I believe that's a big reason why.
Okay, if you have really good guys in your clubhouse, don't you think you can overcome that? I mean, look at some of the Willie Adames, one of the best guys in baseball. Matt Chapman has been a leader. Logan Webb is certainly the leader of that pitching staff. Like, you don't think that guys would have kept him straight?
I think they would have. I think was a mistake not bringing him in. And also, again, if you're not just a leader in the clubhouse, if you're a leader of the franchise, if you're the guy making the decisions, you have to take that responsibility upon yourself as well and say, I guarantee, if Buster was like, I want to start a relationship with Framber, I'll take care of this. I'll put him under my wing. I'll talk to him. Like, the things would change. Like, baseball players just want to feel accepted. They want to feel wanted in this game. They want to feel like people appreciate what they do. And whether that sounds crazy or not, I mean, I feel like if Buster did that, I mean, it wouldn't. I don't think it's going to be. I doubt we hear one bit of Framber controversy this year with the Tigers. I'll go on record in saying that.
Oh, yeah, I would be shocked. And then you pair him with Tarek Skubal. I was trying to think if there's a better 1-2 punch. Garrett Cole's not back. So when Garrett Cole comes back, you can throw, assuming he gets back to where he was, right? Mm-hmm. Cole and Fried at the top of the Yankees rotation. You could go Yamamoto and whomever. You want to pair him with Shohei as the 1-2. Like, that's pretty damn good. I don't know if there's any other squad.
I think we're going to see some of those Reds pitchers. I think we're going to get like Hunter Green and somebody in there. I think that would
be a big leap to get to the status of the guys we're talking about.
Hunter Green is there.
Whoa, you're putting him in the same status as?
I mean, yeah. Look what the guy's been able to do and getting better every single year. Like, you'd be kind of silly if you don't even consider him for that.
Well, then you're calling him the top 5 pitcher in baseball.
The numbers are there, Chris. Top 5 is, I mean, I'd have to look and really think about who's in the top 5. I don't like doing these lists, but yeah, he has the arm talent and he's put up the numbers to do that.
Interesting. Give us your top, combos in all of baseball. I think it starts probably with Skubal and Framber, but I could be convinced elsewhere, depending on who you want to pair with Yamamoto.
I mean, I don't know. The last 2 years for Hunter Green, I'll give you the stats right now.
Please do. And include games started.
Because that's 45 games started. So, yeah, like there was some there.
That's shy.
258 innings pitched. ERA plus of 162 to a 2.76 regular ERA. I mean, that's nothing to, that's top 5 stuff to me.
That's great, except the first number you gave me scares the hell out of me when I'm talking
Jacob
about
deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi. Don't forget them. Don't you forget them.
Good one. That's great. Yeah. I love that. Once again, it becomes a health question because you
Jacob deGrom, 30 starts last year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I love this game now that I'm remembering everybody.
Eovaldi missed a little bit of time last year.
Yeah, but I remember.
What did he have? Like mid-20s starts?
What do you have? Dog.
Yeah, he was great. I love it. He's the guy who's like really turned it on since the age of 30.
Paul Skeens and somebody else on the staff.
And anybody else. That's the problem, is that there's not enough close number 2 guy to make him part of the discussion. Oh, well. So you guys can give us your lists, and also how much do you think teams like Baltimore and the Giants, or are we missing anybody else that could have realistically been in on him and wasn't? Let us know. Comment section. Thank you. This episode sponsored by BetterHelp. It can be tough to know where to turn when trying to handle stress and pressure and burnout and staying sharp while things pile up. Well, BetterHelp can help you develop healthy coping skills, set boundaries, support personal growth. Therapy isn't just for major challenges. It's a tool for anyone looking to improve their well-being. Now, finding time for therapy, we know that can be a challenge, but BetterHelp It's all done online. It makes it easy to schedule and attend your weekly sessions. They've got over 30,000 therapists. So BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. Actually works too, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars. That's based on over 1.7 million client reviews. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, and it's so important to find that person, you can switch at any time, easily and no extra cost. Please prioritize your well-being with the help of BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp, that is HELP.com/baseball today. You're going to get 10% off your first month. That is HELP.com/baseball today. All right, back at it. Cincinnati Reds trying to find their way back to the postseason party for the second straight year. And if that happens, I have a feeling this guy is going to have to return to form.
Driven to right center. Gone again! A two-dinger day from Matt McLain.
Yeah, good for him. Part of a 6 RBI effort against the Chicago Cubs. So, McLain, great 2023 out of the gate. Missed all of 2024 with a major injury. Played a lot in 2025, just not well. How shocking was his drop-off?
You know, it wasn't great. Obviously, you look at the numbers, but then you have to start remembering like what kind of injury he had in 2024. He did it diving for a ball in spring training, ended up hurting his shoulder. And I think if we didn't have Cody Bellinger as an example, we would be, I would be like kind of more on this guy. But we saw Cody Bellinger deal with a shoulder injury, struggle after he came back. And then finally, when he got healthy, he's kind of returned to that form. So Matt McLain has said all the right things this spring training. He's worked on some swing mechanics. I think he's using a longer bat. But the most important thing is he said, I feel like I have a new shoulder. Like he's completely healthy. So this is, if he comes out this year and struggles the way he did in 2025, then I think there's obviously going to be a lot of talk. And I think a healthy offseason, healthy shoulder, we're going to see a different kind of player. And again, if we didn't have Cody Bellinger as like the most recent example, like I probably wouldn't be saying this, but I think we got to give him this year. I think we got to give him at least, let's say, first 2 months or something like that, right? Before we really start calling him like what could have been, or, you know, he's not the guy we thought he was in 2023.
You know what? I think this is a huge year, not only for McLain, but for a lot of the 20-somethings on this team. Yes, they made the playoffs, but that's only because the Mets tripped all over their you-know-what down the stretch. And the Reds only had 83 wins. It wasn't like they had 88, 89, pushed 90, whatever. They just kind of treaded enough water. They have nobody to apologize for, but I think the point is that with that pitching staff, and you look at the lineup, you're like, God, it feels like it should be better. And I think getting a sweetheart deal with Eugenio Suarez to come in and be their designated hitter and return to a place where he obviously loved, that will help. But it's going to be guys like Matt McLain who, if they live up to their first round billing and what we saw in 2023, where he finished 5th in Rookie of the Year, then yes, this team can seriously contend for something in that division. I really, truly believe it. Do you know that they did not have a guy on their roster last year who had more than 110 at-bats and an OPS over 780? Ellie De La Cruz led him at 777, I believe. That's not good enough, particularly in that park. That's a hitter's park. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking for guys, and I'm excited to see Sal Stewart get a full year here. We saw him do some really good things coming up. They have some other dudes that are going to get their opportunity, and I want to see this team take off. I feel like I've stuck around and waited at the bus stop. I'm like, are they ever going to get here?
So we did this TPP with the Reds, and I had this thought. Tell me, I'm kind of patting myself on the back for, although it's maybe not a unique thought. They remind me a little bit of the Mariners a couple of years ago. We're like, dude, you have all this pitching, you can't find a way to score runs. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, when are you gonna make a move for a bat? And then Cal Raleigh comes along and does his thing. I think the Reds are in a similar situation. Like, Ellie can make that leap. He can make that leap offensively to become, a true superstar in the game. Matt McLain can be that guy. You mentioned Sal Stewart. Like, what are we going to see from him in a full year? Like, can Noelve Marte be like, we need these guys to step up. They brought back Gino, which I think is going to help their offense, obviously, especially in the power department. But yeah, I think they're at such an interesting point because they have these guys, and I truly do believe this. And by the way, I just looked at so many stats trying to butter knife Hunter Green being a top 5 pitcher, and he's just not in any of the stats. So sorry, guys. We forgot Chris Sanchez and Zach Wheeler, by the way, in those 1-2 punches.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, Wheeler, though, has the injury, but yes, you're right.
So here's my thought process. If these guys step up and the Reds start like playing really good baseball, we already talked about them thinking about dealing our guy Hunter Green. Like, they have a wealth of starting pitching. If they're there, you make that move, you bring in a true like middle of the order bat from somewhere, then we're talking about a completely different team. So I really like my comparison of them with the Mariners, and we've seen what the Mariners have been able to do. And Reds fans, I think you'll be happy to hear me say that.
Yeah, there was one thing I really I want to make about McLain is after they bowed out against the Dodgers in the first round of the playoffs, they interviewed him and they were asking about how important this was for the growth of this clubhouse in order to have this experience. And he said, yeah, it was great. Like, there's no question. That is a great team over there. They're the defending champs, the whole bit. But then he said, I have to be better. Like, I loved hearing that moments after their season ended. For him to, it would have been easy for him to just talk about the experience and all that sort of stuff. And I just want to get healthy and come back. He said, I have to be better. He owned it. And I thought that was some big boy shit. So I like that. And I hope that this team has that opportunity where they all kind of continue to grow up together.
Does Ellie need to stand in the dugout at the end of the season and say, we need to make some moves as an organization?
That's the Cal Raleigh
like Cal Raleigh did.
Well, I would say if he makes a substantial leap forward, because he has made, it feels like, incremental moves. I thought last year, yes, it was better, but it wasn't like an enormous step.
He's still like 24 years old.
I get all that.
Yeah.
Yes. So the chronological
even younger than that? We just looked this up. He's only played a little over 2 years. It feels like he's been around forever.
But it is his 4th year of being a big leaguer, his 4th season of being in the big leagues, right?
No. Oh, this will be his 4th, yes.
Yes, this is.
Yeah.
So, right, he's still extremely young chronologically, but Major League Baseball experience, he's starting to get to the point where you want to see it. If he's going to turn into the superstar that we crave, this is a good time to do it.
They say I've always heard 1,500 at bats is kind of like, hey, like, time to figure it out. He's at 1,635.
Yeah. Awesome. Quick follow-up here on the whole McLain deal. Give me one other guy who's kind of been MIA that we need to find his way back.
I'm taking the easy route here, but I also believe it. It's Luis Robert of the Mets. We've kind of like let him just like stay in Chicago and kind of like throw it away. Hey, they're not a good team. He's not really motivated, but he hasn't really put up numbers. We got one really good year, another okay year, a lot of defensive stuff, saving his WAR numbers. I love my Cuban ball players. You know that. It's my Cuban brother right here. I need this guy to step up. You got a whole different world coming your way playing in Queens. I'll tell you that right now. Is it Queens?
Yep.
I crushed that. I want to see him come back to form. I think the motivation is going to be there for him. And I'll tell you what also got me fired up because, you never know what to expect. Jerry Blevins of John Boy Media went down to spring training. Jolly said he was not sold on this move, didn't like it, went down there, spent some time around the club. He goes, Luis Robert is going to have a massive year. So,
okay. Good. Yeah, I haven't been on that train at all. So, but it's interesting because you and I, very similar thought processes. My guy also plays his home game in Queens. Kodai Senga. Had enough of this shit. Let's go, dude. He burst on the scene in 2023. Now, granted, he was a substantially older rookie, had all the experience over in Japan. 2024, he threw one game, right? Had the injuries. We saw him come back for the playoffs. That didn't work out. Last year, we thought, I didn't even remember this until I saw the numbers. Do you know how good he was the first 13 starts of the year?
Yes.
sub 1.5 ERA. I totally blanked on that because the rest of the season went to shit. And then, he gets sent down to AAA Syracuse. There seemed to be some sort of ruffling of the feathers between player and team. This guy's really talented. And for God's sakes, he doesn't make that much money when you're talking about a veteran starter pitcher in the grand scheme of things. It's $15 million a year over each of the next 2 years. That is guaranteed dough. But let's get out there. Let's be healthy. Let's not be a freaking wussy, man. You are an established veteran. You're 33 years old. You pitched in some big games. Let's get our ass out there. Make the Mets fans happy. God dang it, dude.
He surely means a lot to this year and the Mets' success. There's no doubt about it. But he did deal with an injury last year, Chris. He had like a hamstring thing. The mechanics got out of whack. He's looking good in spring training. Like I'm getting actually yelled at online because I said Kodai Senga is at worst a number 3 talent in the major league rotation. Like the Mets surely need him back. Excuse me?
What are people yelling at?
They're like, they're basically saying, I think Kodai Senga is too good. I'm like, okay, he's pitched 200 innings almost exactly in the big leagues to a 3 ERA. Like, that's pretty good.
What are they talking about?
Yeah,
it's what happened?
Mets fans, they can't have nice things.
His numbers, his rookie year, 12-7, 2.98 ERA, 202 strikeouts in 166 and a third.
Yeah.
Those are great numbers. He was runner-up for NL Rookie of the Year. He's got it. He's got the experience. He's not 23. He's 33.
Are we rooting for the Mets or something? What's up with this?
Well, I'm rooting for them to stick around and make things interesting. Last year's Mets team was perfectly fine with them because it was incredible what the hell happened. Although I love Jolly Olive, so I like it when Jolly's
Let's just pull it up just to rub it in a little bit.
What are you pulling up? Be careful.
What happened at the end of the season?
With him?
Oh, my gosh, dude. They went on a freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game losing streak in the middle of September.
That's good timing. That's good timing. All right. Time right now for, by the way, go leave in the comments one other person that we talked about who was MIA maybe last year or the last few. He's got Luis Robert. I've got Kodai Senga. Let us know. Give us a name and just, one thing that you think will happen with him this year. Let's go for it. Time right now for Stock Risers. It's brought to you by SeatGeek, where we take a look at players and prospects who are ready to break out in 2026. This guy is not a prospect. I can tell you that. He is, in my opinion, a future Hall of Famer. That is Mookie Betts. Of course, we know that his Dodgers are trying to be the first three-peat World Series champions since the Yankees from 98 through 2000. His manager, Dave Roberts, says not only will Mookie bounce back in 2026, but will be back in MVP consideration. Mookie said, yeah, that's what I fully expect out of myself. Are you buying that statement?
Love the statement. I love it. That's what I want my manager to say about me, and that's how you want to feel about yourself. I could see it happening. What does MVP consideration mean? Are we talking about getting MVP votes? I could definitely see that happening with Mookie Betts this year.
Well, hold on. MVP votes means top 20.
That's what I'm saying. Like, give me a number here. We're talking MVP
to me,
10 and above.
Consideration is like top 6, top 8.
I think that's going to be tough. Because he's a shortstop, though, he could if he has a bounce back offensive year, yeah, he could be there. But I think that's what's at play here. Is last year he had the illness, he had to learn he didn't learn a new position, but you're playing a new position full time. That takes a lot out of your body. Trying to gain that weight back while playing shortstop is just not a fun thing. And then you start to struggle, which he hasn't done a lot in his baseball career, I'm assuming, and your mentals start to happen to you, and you're on this team full of superstars, and Shohei's doing this, and you're like, hey man, like I used to be that guy. I think Mookie has to deal with a lot more mentally than a lot of people realize. Like, he was the guy with the Dodgers, and now you got Shohei and you got Freddie and you got all these guys coming. I think that you'd think he would welcome it, but I promise you, like, it'll wear on you. So I think the combination of all those things happened last year, and full off season to kind of prepare again for those situations that he probably wasn't ready for last year. I think he's going to do fine this year. MVP 6 or above. I don't know, man. It
That'd
could
be shocking.
happen.
Can we call it what it
I
is?
wouldn't be like, I'm not betting on it.
No, it would be shocking, and that's okay. It really is. Just Mookie Betts continued to be what you are, which is he's turned into a really good defensive shortstop. Now, the offensive numbers, this is not Mookie Betts, and you can say that it started with the weight loss and the illness, and I'm not going to remove that from part of the narrative because that's a big part of it, right? But when you add up all the numbers, his OPS last year was 150 points lower than his career OPS. The guy has always been an extra base hitting machine, 740 double seasons. He has combined for 47 over the last 2 years. This is a decorated, highly decorated World Series champion. He has won an MVP. He has 5 top 5 MVP finishes. And when you go back and you look at the numbers that he was putting up, and I get it, he was playing right field, not shortstop. I get it. He was in his early to mid 20s and not, 33 years old like he's going to be this year. When he won the MVP in 2018, he had almost a 1-1 OPS. He is 3 times a runner-up for MVP. 897 OPS, 927 OPS, and then just a couple of years ago, a 987 OPS. Those are numbers that he's not going to approach again. And so, yes, can you lower those expectations and combine him with playing shortstop and then maybe meet somewhere in the middle? Sure. But he's got to have probably an 830 OPS to even enter in the discussion based on where we are in the game today.
I'll take the over on 830.
It's a big leap. That's 100 points over where he was a season ago.
I mean, he was dealing with stuff again. Like, I think there was a lot more. It was the illness. I think, again, mentally, like struggling at the big leagues for a prolonged period, probably for the first time. I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure he's been in some ruts before, but like that much struggle when your team is the preeminent team in baseball, like it can wear on you, man. Especially a guy that's just like not had to deal with it. So I'll take the 830 over. We'll just do a little friendly bet right now.
How about over 850? Let's set the number there.
You're adding 20 points on me just like that?
Yeah, I just did. So what? Who cares?
You're scared. You're scared.
I'm not scared. I'm trying
850?
to set 850.
Meet in the middle, 840.
845.
No, it's 840 and that's it. I'll take the over 840. You
I don't
take
want
the
to
under.
root against
We'll
him.
go to dinner.
Why are you making me root against him?
You brought this up.
Oh, all I did was bring up the numbers. I didn't. All I'm saying is here's where the discussion is.
You're a Mookie hater. Everyone heard you say it. Everyone heard it.
Oh, my God. Will you stop that? I am not a Mookie hater. I've always loved that. I told you that this is a story I've told several times that when Millar and I were doing an edition of Intentional Talk, this is probably 2016 or 17. We were live at Yankee Stadium before a Yankees-Red Sox game. We walk in the stadium at like 1:15. Who's the guy on the field taking early batting practice? Mookie Betts. And one of the Yankees coaches was like, fuck, their best player's on the field at 1:15 for a 7:10 first pitch. Jeez. So why wouldn't I? I've always rooted for Mookie. Don't make it sound like I'm excited to have him have under an 840 OPS. 845 is my final.
You're not rooting. You set the line. I took the over. It's just called, a good old-fashioned gentleman's bet.
It's fine.
All right.
God, all of a sudden I'm going to be the asshole because I'm rooting for a future Hall of Famer to have a not shitty year. How about if he has an 837 OPS, that's still a good year for him, and I can win a bet.
On base percentage, if he gets the on base percentage back, he'll do it. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now with the numbers.
Yeah. So, quick reminder that this was a segment, Stock Risers, brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the code BASEBALL2026, 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. And remember to put that in because I just got tickets off of SeatGeek to a concert, and I forgot to put the code in. And the minute I hit send, I was like, tickets! So make sure you do it beforehand, or else you have to do it the next time you get something. All right. There's a reason I'm wearing a Cardinals cap. because I don't think it's going to be a great year for St. Louis, and I think they got some good news with the organization, so I want to give them their props. While we were away, Oli Marmol got a 2-year extension to continue to be the leader in the dugout. Your reaction to that is?
Like thumbs up. I don't know. Thumbs up, dude. I don't know what it means for the team. Here's the thing I'll say. I've been an Oli Marmol hater on this show. I have.
We
Chris.
both have.
I know, but listen, two guys I deeply respect Oli Marmol. Kyle Gibson always tells me, hey, relax on him. I think you'd like him. Jake Storiale basically is best friends with the guy after spending the winter meetings with him. So what am I supposed to do? I think it's one of those situations where from afar, we've said some things, and I don't take back anything I've said, but I bet if I met him, I'd have a different opinion. I haven't met him. I've been out there. I went to Dodger Stadium one day just so Oli Marmol could, if he wanted to talk to me, he could. Nothing. Stubby did, though.
I did meet him last year and had a wonderful conversation with him, like really pleasant. And then spent a lot of time talking with our friend Katie Wu, who has since then moved on, still remains with the Athletic, but moved on to the Dodgers. Yeah, she's crushing it. Saw her during my 16-day road trip out in Arizona. That was fun. It's nice to catch up with her, and she seems very happy there. But she said, I hope that they let him stay through this rebuild because I think that he would be really good just focusing on the young talent. And that's what's happened now, right? They don't have veteran presence anymore. They get rid of Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado, all in these big trades in the offseason. And now it's a bunch of kids. Now I'm warning you, St. Louis, it's going to be bad. They are going to be a bottom 3 to 5 team in this sport. In fact, it's possible they could see their first 95-loss season since 1913.
Chris, I just don't have that.
You don't see that?
3 to 5. Okay, let me just take a look. I think they will be in last place in the Central.
Okay.
I believe that. I think they'll finish above Washington.
Okay.
I think they'll finish above Colorado. The White Sox are kind of fun this year.
Yeah, they're
okay. 3 to 5 is a good range.
Yeah,
I'd go more towards the 5.
That's fair.
They're better than the Angels, don't you think?
What's that?
Are they better than the Angels?
No, I don't think so.
Some players there.
Where? In St. Louis?
St. Louis Cardinals, dude.
I like Mason Wynn. Like Jordan Walker, this is your time. Let's go. We're going. He's going to get everyday at bats. You know, Lars Nootbaar is going to get traded at some point, so that'll open up even more spots. I don't know. They don't. I'm excited to see JJ Weatherhold.
Yes, you are.
Okay, and that's why I love what they did the other day with the $29 tickets. Did you see that with the all you can eat? You can pick 3 items like popcorn, hot dog,
of places
soda.
Are doing that. A lot of places are doing that. I'm in.
Totally. It is super smart. Super smart.
And here, you want to, can I say something with just, is a trust tree, people. Trust tree. I don't think Artie Moreno was that far off with what he's saying. Now, to list winning as 5 on the list, I don't like that. But I do feel like if you're talking about the casual baseball fan, which is like probably the majority of baseball fans, if we're being honest, there's the diehards, love the diehards. But like, I would say families, yeah, they want to feel safe. They want an affordable experience. And they want to, yeah, I mean, that's not like a bad thing to say. The way he said it, winning is not even on the top 5. That's the bad part.
Yes.
Of it. And he's had obviously a track record of just saying like the most dumb things and done some really stupid things as an owner. But the sentiment is not that bad. And please don't kill me online for that.
Comments are open,
Do
people.
you agree? You agree. I know you do.
Well, yes, there is certainly some truth to that. And people who are parents are going to see this as decidedly different as young people in their 20s who might not be attached to anything, right? It's easy when you're 22 years old. Hey, let's just go down and watch our favorite team and hang out, have a couple beers, call it a day. When you are a parent and you've got 3 kids and you're trying to bring your family of 5, like how often can you go do this if teams aren't working with you financially? And yeah, you don't want some loud drunk guy always yelling in your ear the whole game. And, with the way that people get sometimes when they get a little something in their system. Yeah, all that stuff matters.
Can I I think everyone knows what he said, but we'll explain it. He said that winning is not in the top 5 for what fans want. Now, I think if he just came out and said, obviously we want to win, a winning product on the field is the number 1 priority, but I believe fans also really value affordability and feeling safe. And we want to make sure those things are all happening at the same time as us trying to build a winning team. That's a completely different statement, but it's all the same stuff.
He should hire you as his
I've said that for years. Let me get in there.
For God's sakes, you would have saved him. You would have saved him.
I don't know if you'd save that guy.
But I do want to circle back to the Cardinals $29 ticket with the all-you-can-eat items, picking out 3 or whatever the stipulations are. You would never have thought prior to this year that the St. Louis Cardinals would be one of the teams that would go that direction. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand what you're saying.
Yes, because the
story franchise
attendance has been dwindling, and they know that they're going to have to give. I mean, Chaim Bloom has come out and said it all. He has said it that people are.
Why is Chaim Bloom like this? Chaim Bloom, go out and be like Dave Dombrowski one time.
Why? And
Why
do
not?
what?
He went to the Red Sox and completely tore that thing apart, dude.
Because of that wasn't his call. I can't imagine.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
The first thing,
push back a little bit.
Interview with those guys. The first thing he said was, "Let's trade Mookie Betts." You think that's what it was part of his sell job?
Maybe you're right. Maybe I love Chaim. Big fan. I'm just saying, like, geez, man. Like he's the anti-Dombrowski.
That's true. Dombrowski just keeps getting these jobs where the owners are like, "Let's go for it. Let's go for it." Are you okay if I tear apart the farm system? Yeah.
Dombrowski's having the most fun of any GM out there, and Chaim Bloom's like, "Geez, what are we guys?"
Exactly. You're the hired rebuild. Jesus Christ. That's great. Yeah, you're the guy that gets to run the plow and just dig the soil. Dombrowski's the guy
get out in front of the media and answer questions about it too.
Oh, all right. It's good to get back into it, man. Let's go. Let's go. You going to be watching the USA versus the Giants today?
I'll probably tune in a little bit. I got some stuff going on, Chris. I gotta go play tennis right now, and I gotta get my workout in. But after that, I'm gonna be locked in. I don't like this. I'm not in yet.
No, but
I'm watching this stuff. I'm seeing what the roster's doing, but the exhibition games. Come on.
So for people that don't know, each of the content creators at John Boy Media has been assigned a team to watch and break down and have some fun with. So, if you don't like that country, cut us some slack. It's not like we picked these teams. And of course, who did you get?
I mean, I am Team USA.
You're Captain America.
I'm
You're the David Wright.
Alum. What do you mean? Me and Paul Seiler are like this. Shout out. Hey, Paul, if you're listening, I'll see you in Miami.
Do you know who I got, by the way?
The Netherlands.
No. Here, hold on 1 second. Just stay right there. Hold on. Coming back. Here we go.
Okay.
This is who I got.
Canada.
Yeah, I got Canada.
All right.
Yeah.
You, Justin Morneau, the Naylor brothers.
Yeah.
Nick Pivetta.
I don't know if is Pivetta on that team. Oh, yeah.
No, he's Canadian, though.
He's Canadian? Yeah, I don't think he's throwing, but
Jesse Crane.
Yeah. Jesse Crane. There's another one. Larry Walker will be watching my content closely. Matt Stairs will be my editor for it. And Ryan Dempster will be my joke writer. We've got a great team assembled. So
Freddie Freeman, is he playing?
No, he pulled out. He had some stuff where he couldn't do it, which is too bad.
Some stuff. Me too. I got some stuff too, Freddie.
Okay. We're back at it later this week. We think we're probably going to go Thursday, so keep your eyes and ears out for it. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you later this week on Baseball Today.